The first race of the World Women's Circuit Racing at the Italian circuit of Cremona is about to get underway. Welcome to the second round of the championship after an exciting opener back in the Dutch race. What is the Italian circuit going to bring us? Hello everybody, welcome to all of the action then for race 1 of the WCR here for round 2 of the championship at Cremona. Well, we've got double delight this weekend for the first time this season. WCR and F1 Academy are taking part in the same weekend, which means just as much as the men get racing, we actually get to highlight women racing in both 4 wheels and 2 wheels. Well, Beatrix Naylor leads the championship for Maria Herrera, but they're actually level on points, 45 each, both with a first and a second place over the weekend. Beatrix goes ahead in the championship though because she finished first on the road in both races but did get a penalty in race 1. But Beatrix Naylor very much is the person to beat. Maria Herrera knows it as well. Sarah Sanchez in third. 32 points to her name as well after finishing in the points on both appearances so far. It's a very tight and interesting championship as you can take a look now at the results. Roberta Ponziani on 24 points, Taylor Ralph on 19, Chloe Jones also the same. But let's head down to the grid as we get set, ready to go for all of the action. Let's join the World Feed.
12 laps ahead of the Women's World Championship. This is our commentary box here at Cremona in Italy, and this is the situation up on the front of the grid with Astrid Madrigal from Mexico on the front row for the first time. This is Roberta Ponziani, the top-placed Italian rider, second on the grid. Championship leader Bea Naylor starts fourth, one grid row directly behind Maria Herrera, her championship rival. It all went so wrong for Maria here last year. Over to the commentators then, Steve English and Liam Hodgins up in the tower.
All set then for race 1. Here's your starting grid. Maria Herrera's on pole position. Roberta Ponziani and Astrid Madrigal starts in third position. Row 2 then sees Beatrix Naylor, Sarah Sanchez, Navon Lewis. Row 3, Chloe Jones, Tyler Ruff and Paquita Ruiz as well. Onogardo's got an irresponsible ride during absence of a long lap penalty. Row 4, Lucy Mitchell alongside Mallory Dobbs and Lily Bondi as well. Then it's the 17, the 20 and the 99. The 19 follows the 88 and 28 coming through on the list as well. Jessica Howden starts at the back with no time set across the running order. But Onogardo gets an irresponsible riding during the last lap timeout. 12 laps then here at Cremona. Let's check in with our commentary team.
So as we get ready to get underway for World WCR race number 1, the first racing action of the weekend here at Cremona, and it's Maria Herrera on bike number 6 leading the way, and it looks like we've got some sort of debris on the tarmac, but it seems like everyone avoided that from the starting grid. But Maria Herrera leading the way, and we see from the 2024 race winners Herrera and Carrasco, they took the honours last year. But in race number 2 we had quite the fight, didn't we, Steve, between the top 4 in the championship, but it ended in disaster for Herrera and Sanchez, and they'll be hoping to right the wrongs of race number 2 last year.
Yeah, it's a very flat racetrack around here in Cremona, 3.7 kilometres of length, so it's the shortest track we have through the year. But there's actually quite a few little camber changes and undulations around the track. We saw it there in the run through turn 3, one of the key places on the lap as well. We've seen a lot of crashes down towards turn 7 where we are now in the free practice sessions for the different classes. This has been a bit of an action hotspot. Down in towards turn 10 where the riders are coming through now, this is the most important corner on the track. This is the one where if you exit it well, you've got a slipstream in front of you, you gain a big advantage. You're able to make some overtaking moves through the exit of turn 10. This is actually turn 7, the first of the double apex left-handers, and then in towards the fast turn 9, and then this is turn 10. So onto that long back straight, the riders want to be able to use the slipstream. That means that this start is critical. So if you're looking at someone like Taylor Ralph there in the number 8 machine, she's going to start from the middle of the third row of the grid. She needs to make a good start because over the last year we've been able to see that she's got the pace to be close to that lead group, but she has to go with the lead group at the start.
Yeah, we saw from qualifying yesterday that slipstream was all important. Here we have the current championship standings. Nayla and Herrera leading the way with 13 points further back. Sarah Sanchez and Roberta Ponziani on the middle of the second row of the grid in 4th spot. Ponziani, another rider that in Assen struggled off the line, so Sarah Sanchez and Ponziani will be hoping for good starts here today to go with that leading group, because if they lose contact, that slipstream won't affect them.
And here we go then, lining up on the grid for race 1 of the World WCR here at Cremona. 12 laps ahead of us then for the FIM Women's Circuit Racing World Championship. Maria Herrera on pole position, Beatrix Nene just behind her. They're level on points in the championship. Who's going to have the advantage on the run down towards turn number 1? Revs are up, we're ready for a start. Green flag at the back. Watch out for the running towards the first corner. That one will be critical. Red lights on. Lights out, we're racing in Cremona. Bit of a wheel spin coming from Sarah Sanchez. Down in towards turn 1, it's immediately into the lead for Maria Herrera. Again, I think Ponzioni just stays through. Beatrix Naylor's up into 3rd position. I think as well, Mandragal's dropped back a couple of places. Stunning start. Maria Herrera controlling the advantage down towards turn number 1. She has the lead as we circle round into the middle sector now. So it's Maria Herrera from Ponzioni. Then it's going to be Beatrix Naylor, Mandragal, Lewis, Sanchez, Jones, Ralph, Isis Carrero down to 9th. Ruiz in 10th, Mallory Dobbs up to 11th. Great job for Mal as they come into the first sector now. A little bit of a move coming through on the 21 from Lewis, trying to come back on the inside line. She's dropped back significantly, actually. Long lap penalty, as we know, from the 28 now has come through. And that is going to be for that long lap issues in the opening race. So a good start. Let's hope our rider tracker starts working. It seems to have gone a little bit dodgy at the moment. You can see they're still cycling through as they come through into the 3rd sector now. Maria Herrera leads, Roberta Ponzioni in 2nd, Beatrix Naylor is up to 3rd then. As you look down, Mal's into 11th position, friend of the channel, of course colleague here at this channel. Where's Jamie Hagsalley? Down in 21st position from a Brit's perspective as well. She's not doing too bad in the race so far. Chloe Jones, another Brit to watch out for, up into 7th position. This Yamaha R7. And now the field through the tricky, and now there is our rider tracker. Down in the last corner then, the tricky. Turn 12 and 13, and over the start line we go. Maria Herrera leads this race. And really, it's all about timing and positioning, because you never know in this battle exactly what's going to happen next as we get our correct graphics open down to the braking zone then as well. Well, 11 to go. Herrera, Ponzioni, Naylor, Lewis, Mandragal, Sanchez, Jones coming through. Ralph, Carrero, Ruiz in there too. So they're just going to try and hold it together as things stand, and so to keep your fingers crossed throughout all of it that we're not going to have a massive accident. They just need to hold it, and they can hold it nicely. So up 6 places was Caro, so that's without the long lap penalty come through soon as they circle back down. Not a bad start then. Let's check in with the world feed. No jump starts either.
Covering the top 6. Great ride here from Madrigal, already on course to beat her current best in the classes. We look at the number 99, that's Carreno on the number 99 machine in 9th spot. So good start from Carreno here, just trying to catch up to the back of Taylor Ralph, and Chloe Jones has lost a bit of margin towards Sarah Sanchez, almost over a second it is now, as Ponziani is in the slipstream of Herrera. Will we have an overtake for the lead at the end of lap number 2? It looks like she's just setting up and taking stock for the time being.
This was one of the things last year for Roberta on the number 96 machine. Can she win those hand-to-hand battles up against one of the other top riders? Last year, she had a podium here in Cremona, but more often than not, she was in that 4th or 5th position. Obviously, the crash for Sanchez and for Herrera helped her last year. She needs to prove that she's able to win these battles.
Yeah, it's a big moment for Ponziani in front of her home crowd as well here at Cremona. The top 4 still just stretching their legs ever so slightly, but Madrigal's managed to close it back in at turn 2.
So the top 6 are now gone. Chloe Jones, you can see there, in 7th position under a lot of pressure from Taylor Ralph. And that
that
looks like Mal Dobbs is down, and maybe it's Emily Bundy as well.
Yeah, great shame there for Emily Bondi. It looks like she's gone down.
Yeah, Mallory's gone down too, and Mallory's furious. So Emily Bondi and Mallory Dobbs have gone down, both now not competing. Bondi's out, Mallory's out, down at that first 2 corners. Now Mallory looked like she was on the inside there. I hope she didn't drop her front. We'll see on the replay, but out goes Mallory. Bondi out too. Well, that's a great start already coming through. Yeah, both walking away uninjured. That's the good sign as well. Airbag's gone off. Let's take another look at it now. So on the inside, oh, and Dobbs just clicks the back of Mallory's tyre. So Emily just 9 times out of 10 you do that, you're both going down, and that unfortunately was the 9 out of 10. Mallory couldn't believe, Mallory doesn't know what's going on. I think she says it's all right. I know Mallory quite well. She's not one for confrontation on the field. It looks like she's saying, no, you're all right. Incident to be viewed after the race there as well. So Mallory out, but both okay. She said, no, it's fine. So I could see the cheekbones going up on Mallory there, so she was smiling on the run there. But out they go. So that puts now Lucy Michael into 12th position. And it also puts into the points D'Azolto as well. So Denise D'Azolto, the Italian rider on home soil, looking in very good positions here. New record for Sarah Sanchez here. 140.612, already getting a faster lap time. And out goes the 52. Jessica Howden has gone down on the deck. So Jessica Howden is out of the race as well. So that's 3 retirements. And that's at turn 1 as well that the 52 has gone down. So 3 out already. And there she is. Oh, we might have to have a red flag interruption on this one. So it's a high accident as well. Huge accident, my goodness me, for Jessica. Down to turn 1, the front's dipped away from her. The bike's flown up in the air. And she's up now. Oh, I think she's doing her shoulder. She's holding her shoulder. From the way she digged into the gravel and rolled, and I think she might have got an issue with her shoulder there. She was going away holding the top right shoulder. I hope it's just a bit sore, nothing else worse that could put her out. But a nasty accident there. She's up and walking away there, which is great news. No need for the race to be interrupted with a red flag. 9 to go. 3 out then of Jessica Howden, Mallory Dobbs, and Emily Bondi out of the race. And now Maria Herrera leads from Roberta Ponzione down with Beatrix Nola in 3rd position, closing in. And meantime, Sanchez and Lewis battling over for 4th position. Sanchez thought about him on the inside, couldn't quite grab it. So just eases off. And Mandorgal has cut back up into 6th position as well. So all is well at the moment.
We're ticking off with 8 laps to go. Herrera leading the way from Ponziani and Naila. She's climbing all over the back of Ponziani as Naila is now starting to see her chief championship rival stretch her legs ever so slightly, as we see confirmation incident between Bondi and Mal Dobbs will be reviewed after the race here at Cremona. So yeah, maybe expect some sort of sanction coming the way of Emily Bondi.
Yeah, from first sight, whenever we've been able to see that replay, obviously we don't see what happens before it, but it looked like Bondi's at fault for that, so you wouldn't be too surprised to see a long lap penalty in the next race for her. We did see Ongara have one carried over from the opening race of the year in Assen as well, so you wouldn't be too surprised at that. Sarah Sanchez, she's going to try and surprise Avalon here into turn 7. Not quite close enough to make the move on the 21. It's also not the real place to make that move, because you don't want to cost each other time right now. You want to use that slipstream down the back straight, but the gap between Beatrice Naila and Avalon Lewis, 3rd and 4th position, it's now stretched out to 1.4.
Jessica Howden's going to the medical centre, by the way.
Yeah, Sarah Sanchez, if she wanted to go with the top 3, had to strike a lap ago. This is a little bit too late, but we might have a change for position now. Not quite confident enough on the brakes to get up the inside of Avalon Lewis. We have seen that Lewis is quite a demon on the brakes, carried over from Assen as well. As we go down the back straight once more, 7 and a bit laps to go here for World WCR race number 1, as Ponziani once again in the slipstream of Maria Herrera. She will sit up before Herrera. You can just see her ducking out from behind the screen, and that is Sanchez that is through to 4th place. Now we see if she can carry some pace. However, she is 1.8 seconds down on Naila. It could be quite a tall ask. Yeah,
and probably too much to ask there at this stage. 40.8 last time around for Maria Herrera in the race lead, 40.8 this time around from Herrera, so her pace is consistent. Sanchez lost 1/4 of a second last time around, 1/2 a second now, so she just keeps giving up that little bit of ground. 1.9 seconds. She needs those other riders to fight with each other.
Yeah, she does indeed, and I can't see for the time being them going to fight. It looks like maybe Ponziani and Naila are just trying the hardest to stick with Herrera, and Herrera's the one that's able to easily set the pace at the front. And see that Howden has been taken to the medical centre for a checkup, so hopefully with confirmation that she will be okay for race number 2 tomorrow. So with 6.5 laps remaining, it's Herrera leading the way from Ponziani and Naila in the top group. 2.4 seconds back from them, it is Sarah Sanchez, Lewis and Madrigal. So they are out of the podium contention unless something happens between the top 3. It looks like Sanchez is just stretching her legs over Avalon Lewis for the time being, and she's coming under a little bit of pressure now from Astrid Madrigal, who'll be on for course for her first ever top 6 here in World WCR. So it's a good showing here from the Mexican rider.
Yeah, she's gone with that lead group at the start, and she's going to be rewarded for that. The gap behind is out to 7 seconds now to Paquita Ruiz, so no real chance of Ruiz catching up towards them. So for Astrid on the number 83 machine, it's an opportunity to try and go with the likes of Lewis, fight with her, see if she can beat her, because you can see here at the front of that group that Sanchez has already broken away from them.
Yeah, she has indeed. We might have a change of lead here. Ponziani looking around the outside of her teammate Herrera. Doesn't make it stick. Still quite happy to sit there in second place.
Ponziani was actually ahead through the speed trap, but Maria able just to muscle her way through and keep that race lead.
Yeah, Maria Herrera doing really well on the brakes, as we're seeing Paquita Reed, Chloe Jones, Taylor Ralph and Carreno. The battle for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th here. Group of 4, and a good battle going on as we see that the 17 of Bodicel and Michelle, will keep an eye on them and what their lap times are for closing in the group in front. Bodicel, that lap was a 10th of a second quicker than Carreno, so the fastest rider on track outside of the top 6 was Bodicel. So the number 17 just homing into view ever so slightly, just outside of the top 10 is Bodicel in 11th spot.
Yeah, important to note as well who's outside of those top 10 fastest laps right now as we move into the second half of the race. Chloe Jones in the number 15 machine, she's got the 10th fastest lap just behind Taylor Ralph in 9th spot, so they're 2 riders that we need to keep an eye on to see if one of them is able to set a better lap time now to move themselves up the grid. The 9 fastest laps in this race, they're your top 9 grid positions for race 2.
Yeah, it's very important to keep an eye on that. Chloe Jones will be hoping to start inside the top 9. She's currently on course for her least best result in World WCR after only her 5th race start in 8th place at the moment. And to say that is quite something for Chloe Jones, who's in her first full campaign here in World WCR. So we're watching a couple of riders a little bit further back. That's Rivera. She's in 13th spot on the number 20. Dal Zotto just behind on the number 88, her first race weekend here in World WCR. So she's currently on the fringes of the top 15, and the point is we're back at the front with 5 and a bit laps to go. No change so far. However, Herrera just rolls through turn 11 and able to open up a gap of a couple of bike lines over Ponziani, but Ponziani through the final corner able to just close that back up once more. Naila, it's hard to say if she's happy to sit there for the time being or she's just really trying to keep her claws into the riders in front.
Yeah, give it another lap and then we're into the final third of the race. We're past 2/3 distance and full points are awarded in case of an incident, and that's whenever Naila will start to attack.
As we saw in Assen, that's when she really struck on Maria Herrera in race number 1 and of course race number 2 to take that first victory in World WCR. So the top 3 have broken clear of the riders behind. Sanchez, she has a gap of just over 0.4 of a second over Avalon Lewis and Astrid Madrigal, who's climbing onto the coattails of Avalon Lewis for 5th spot. A bit of a moment there in the curves potentially for Astrid Madrigal. It's the closest battle we have on circuit inside the top 6 for the time being, but the 83 can't do anything about the 21 just yet, as Herrera on the 6, as we see from the lap times, just only 0.03 of a second covering the top 3.
Yeah, Herrera just set the fastest sector 2 of the race so far. That's why she's opened up a couple of bike lengths there on her teammate Ponziani, but it shouldn't matter too much once we come on to turn 10 in the back straight.
Yeah, Ponziani just has to stay in the slipstream coming into the final lap, and she could strike gold for her first race victory here in World WCR. However, Maria Herrera has been here so many times and she's claimed half of the race victories in World WCR. 14 starts we've had across 24 and 25, and Herrera has won 7 of them, so a good strike rate from the Spanish rider. However, striking hot now could be Ponziani on the numbers 96. Not quite yet, just taking stock for the time being. Boxing clever here, keeping her powder dry for the last 4 laps of action here in World WCR as we're about to tick off 2/3 race distance, and it is Herrera leading the way from Ponziani and Naila on the number 36. Your 6 and your 36, they are your current championship leaders, both on 45 points currently.
Look at that, new record,
into
all
race
top
1.
3.
And if it stays the way it is, it will be Herrera leading the way by 9 points.
Yeah, what's interesting as well is you can see Maria Herrera broke the lap record, then Ponziani broke it, and Naila now as well. So the top 3 were really all starting to push on now. We're into the final third of the race. 2/3 distance is complete, so that means we've got full points awarded if there's an incident on a red flag. So all of these riders know now is the time to push.
It's a good effort from Ponziani and Naila, because Herrera had maybe a 10th or 2 in hand the entire weekend, so she's not getting away from the top 2, and Chloe Jones is just kicking her left leg out there. Not sure if there was an issue or maybe slipping off the foot peg ever so slightly, but for the time being she seems to be okay.
Just at the front of the field as well, though, all the riders now starting to push on fastest laps of their races, and showing that little bit more of a turn of speed once we're at this point of the race. This is the moment now for the riders in this group as well, the third group, Ruiz, Jones, Ralph and Isis Karania. Are you able to make that step to move yourself up to the front of that group? There's important points on offer.
Really is indeed, and we'll be keeping an eye on that one. However, the action is all at the front. Once again, Ponziani tucked into the slipstream of her teammate Maria Herrera with 3 and a bit laps to go. She tucks out to the left-hand side of your screen. Herrera on the right, on the number 6, side by side, down the back straight we go. Naila isn't able to lay a glove on either of them just yet, but Herrera once again holding the inside line, keeping her powder dry, and she stays in the lead.
Yeah, Ponziani again ahead through the speed trap at the end of that sector. So for her, she's able to show that she's able to get to the front of the field, but she's just not able to stay at the front of the field, as Taylor Ralph is going to try and do 2 for 1, only able to get through and Chloe Jones. But good move there from Ralph on the number 8 machine.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get a dive bomb coming there from Taylor Ralph, but it was good to see that she was able to make that stick on Chloe Jones. A really good overtake from the number 8.
Yeah, we don't really see too much dive bombing in this class, just because the bikes don't stop as well as what we see in some of the other classes. They're heavy bikes, and it means that a lot of the time whenever you see bikes alongside one another, it's just that little bit more difficult to try and outbrake your rival. We saw that even at the start of the race, turn 8, when the likes of Sarah Sanchez was trying to make her progress alongside Madrigal, but not quite able to overtake Astrid for a while.
Yeah, it's such a shame there for Sarah Sanchez. She's not part of this group. We just saw Avalon Lewis dive towards the right-hand side of the circuit, left-hand side of the screen, to break that slipstream from Astrid Madrigal just behind. But Sarah Sanchez currently still in that 4th spot, and it's a shame that she won't be in this podium battle, because we know that she is one of the riders to watch out for in this championship. But Ponziani here on for a career best, equaling 2nd place at Cremona, and of course in World WCR in total, and she got that other podium here last year.
Yeah, and obviously we've got 3 laps to go, so we're going to come down the back straight another 2 times after this one. Let's see if Ponziani on that 96 machine tries to move to the inside. You can see Maria Herrera, she places her bike down the left-hand side of the road. She's trying to force Ponziani to go the long way around. Ponziani trying to give herself that opportunity to outbrake Herrera, not able to do it.
Yeah, the rider I'm most interested in this group is Beatrice Naila. What is in her mind right now? What is she up to? Is she playing the long game? Is she just trying to stay with the top 2 for the time being? It's really hard to tell what Naila's up to right now, but once again, Herrera is able to tick off another lap. 2 laps to go here for World WCR race number 1. Herrera leading the way from Ponziani and Beatrice Naila.
And you can see there for Taylor Ralph, she's made herself through into 7th spot now at the front of that 3rd group. For Beatrice Naila, she needs to come through in Ponziani on this lap, because then you're able to give yourself that opportunity to set something up against Herrera.
Seems to be that she can't quite get off turn number 10 without losing a bit of time to Ponziani, and Ponziani gets off turn 10 really well and is able to stay in the slipstream of Maria Herrera. As we're still watching the battle for 7th place between Ralph, Ruiz and Jones, and the battle's continuing to go on all the way down the field, and we're seeing a replay of an overtake here. This will be side by side between Ruiz, and this will be the overtake for Lewis in towards turn number 11. As clean as you like on the number 8.
Yeah, Ralph able to make that move nice and clean, the Australian rider, and gets herself up into P7 at the front of the field. We still got half a second between the top 3 as we come down in towards turn 9, down into 10 now. Let's see if Naila's able to get close enough to try and use that slipstream. On this lap, though, it looks like Ponziani has done a really good job just to open up an extra bike length.
Yeah, she's taking those sweeping lines through turn 9 into 10, and just really able to carry the corner speed through the fast left-hander. On towards the back straight we go for the penultimate time here at Cremona. World WCR race number 1. Ponziani tucks out of the slipstream, but Naila seems a little bit closer on this lap. She really is quite there on the number 36 at the back, and we're seeing side by side, that's Madrigal, who's come through on Avalon Lewis, and she's challenging Sarah Sanchez for 4th. So they have both dropped Avalon Lewis, and this is a great ride for the number 83. The first time inside the top 5 in any World WCR race. This will give her great confidence going forward towards race number 2 tomorrow. However, we have started the last lap, and back at the front, 0.2 of a second between Herrera and Ponziani. Nela, she's half a second back, and we will be seeing the top 3 now. And still Herrera on the 6th, leading the way from her teammate.
Yeah, can't really get through as things stand at the moment. And is Roberta Ponziani really going to risk taking down a teammate when the championship rival is right behind her, Beatrix Naylor? You're going to follow the team game here, aren't you, and just sort of hold it together. But if Maria makes a mistake, Roberta's going to be right there, and Beatrix is just lining them up as we come down into turn 6. And it's going to be all about nailing that last sector and just getting it pitch perfect and correct. Through turn 8 now, the long sweep hairpin. 9 and 10 will be coming up. It'll be the last sector coming up soon. Maria Herrera is going to win 2 out of the opening 3 races. But this will be her first win on the road. She got gifted it last time out after a penalty was given to Beatrix Naylor for cutting the corner. So this will be Maria's first win of the season on the road. And she's defending from Roberta Ponzioni. They may be teammates, but Roberta's going for it. Down the inside, in towards turn 11. Is Maria going to have a comeback? Yes, she is. Back on the inside. Roberta shuts the door. Maria can't get through. They almost touch. Beatrix is going to be there. It's going to be our last corner run to the line. Who's going to win the race? Well, I thought they played the team game. They haven't. Roberta Ponzioni will make it 3 different race winners, and the Italian wins on home soil. What a race from her. She'd lined that up perfectly. Roberta Ponzioni, a new record on the line. Maria Herrera 2nd, Beatrix Naylor 3rd, Madrigal 4th. Jones has dropped down the order to 10th position. Well, I think that's going to change the championship. Maria Herrera will lead the championship from Beatrix Naylor in 2nd, but Roberta Ponzioni's just shot herself right up the championship order. 3 different winners from the only 3 races then in World WCR, and on home soil, Roberta Ponzioni, she's won it. Well, that came as a complete surprise. Did not expect that one, and the podium confirmed.
Tried to attack back into turn 11, wasn't able to do it, and then Ponziani was able to put her bike in the right place in that final sector to hold off Herrera. That's a great ride from Roberta to be able to do that, and even better than that, she set the fastest lap of the race on the last lap to take pole position for race 2.
Yeah, she will there. So it's a great ride all round from Roberta Ponziani. And, well, that feels like it's been a long time coming here in Italy after her performances at Cremona last year. She's now gone one better with victory here today. And the most important thing, the most impressive thing, is she was able to hold off Herrera, who did dart to the left-hand side of the circuit. You can see here, Herrera on the number 96. She took a double dab of the brake there on the left-hand side, and she wasn't able to outbrake Ponziani, and we've seen the slow-mo here. Could have been contact. Ponziani left her a little bit of room on the inside. Really clever riding there from the number 96, and that left Herrera with no chance to attack into the final corner. And as we come across the line, we're going to see the jubilant celebrations from Ponziani, who is now a first-time race winner here in World WCR. What a ride from the number 96, and the perfect way to start off the racing action here under the Cremona sun. Maria Herrera, another 2nd place. That's 2 on the bounce now after Assen race number 2. However, she'll be up to 65 points, and more importantly, extends her championship lead over Beatrix Naylor, who finished 1 place behind her in 3rd spot. So that will be a gap of 4 points between Herrera and Naylor going into race number 2 tomorrow. And Maria Herrera waves to the fans. She'll know that she can strike back again tomorrow for another shot at victory with Beatrix Naylor, who picks up a flag around the circuit somewhere. A great performance by Naylor. Wasn't quite able to lay a glove on the Clinton Forward Racing team riders. So another 3rd place, important points for Beatrix Naylor. Consistency means prizes in motorcycle racing, and she's taken 1 position from each podium spot so far in the first 3 races. A 1st, a 2nd and a 3rd. That's how you build a championship challenge. However, Roberta Ponziani, with that victory, she came in 21 points behind Maria Herrera and Beatrix Naylor. She'll now close to within 16 points of the top 2. So great stuff there from the 96.
Yeah, it really was impressive from Roberta to be able to come through like that. You can see for Maria, down in Park Ferme. She'd be disappointed to have been beaten in that one, but sometimes that's the way it goes. And the WCR, especially when we've all got the same bikes out there, it's not always ideal to be the race leader.
No, not at all. And Roberta Ponziani played that an absolute blinder all race. Just sat in the slipstream of Herrera throughout the entire race and then struck when she had to on the final lap. Sussed out where Herrera was quicker than her. Sussed out where she could gain back the advantage. And through that turn 9 into turn 10, she was able to close the gap with a wider sweeping line in towards turn 10 through the long left-hander on towards the back straight. And on the final lap, she was right in the slipstream of Herrera. And that played golden towards Ponziani, taking her first victory here in World WCR.
Yeah, and for Roberta, she's from a bit closer to Misano than Cremona, but with no Misano round this year, this is her home round, and you can see what the win means for her. It's been a year of knocking on the door with podiums and a lot of top 5 finishes, but now a race victory.
Yeah, great stuff to see. So many jubilant celebrations down there in Park Ferme. Beatrice Naylor, even though she'll be a little bit disappointed not to take the victory or second place, you'll still see the biggest smile in the Park Ferme from Beatrice Naylor. She's always a rider with a big smile walking around the paddock as well. So even if she's disappointed, she never usually is disappointed for far too long. And you can see her there just celebrating another podium. And that's once again adding to her consistency of finishing inside the top 5 in every single race she has competed in World WCR. So we've seen the results there. Ponziani taking it by a 10th of a second over Maria Herrera and Beatrice Naylor rounding out the podium. Madrigal managed to pick up her first ever top 4. That's an improvement of 4 positions in World WCR. And she managed to get in front of Sarah Sanchez on the final lap of the race. So converting her best ever starting position into her best ever race result. Sarah Sanchez, that's the first time she's been outside of the podium this year. 5th place for her, and Avalon Lewis in 6th. Taylor Ralph, Bodicel, Carreno and Jones rounding out the top 10 here in race number 1.
What about it, Cremona?
Well, we make excitement. Certainly there was a lot of excitement in World WCR race 1 here today, and big hugs all round between Roberta Ponziani, a very popular race winner, it seems like, down in Park Ferme, with Herrera and Beatrice Naylor congratulating the first-time race winner in World WCR. So we've had 3 races so far in 2025, and we've had 2 first-time race winners, and it just shows that you learn quite a lot in your first season, and what you learn, you take that over the winter and you build upon that to build an even bigger challenge in the second season.
Yeah, and you can see there for Herrera, she's not too disappointed with that one as well. Happy for her teammate and happy for her team. So that's good to see from Maria. We saw last year, obviously, the rivalry between herself and Anna Carrasco was always very different. So it's good to be able to see that between those 2 teammates.
Yeah, it is indeed very good to see between Herrera and Ponziani. We're just getting confirmation of a drop 1 position for Chloe Jones for irresponsible riding. So not quite sure what happened there for Chloe Jones, but she's going to drop down from 10th to 11th. That promotes the 46 of Ruth up inside the top 10. So Ruth, she'll take another top 10 in World WCR, but not a great result there for Chloe Jones on the number 15, dropping outside of the top 10. However, thankfully, it seems to be that we don't have any issues with our podium finishers. And if we had, we might have already heard about it. But for today, it was 3rd place, not quite victory, however, she's still very happy. Beatrice Naylor is down in Park Ferme.
Beatriz, 3rd position, another podium for you. Tell us, how was race 1?
Yes, the race was a little bit difficult, but I'm happy with the result. Finally, I did 3rd position, so it's good for the championship. And now, ahora, bueno, en español, porque esto es para la Comunidad de Madrid. Ayer fue el día de la Comunidad de Madrid, y bueno, pues por eso llevo esta bandera tan bonita, y bueno, me he puesto esto que es típico del traje de chulapa en Madrid. Así que felicidades, madrileños. ¡Mua!
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Also playing up to our Spanish fans out there as well from Beatriz Naylor. Great result there, and 4 points back of Maria Herrera. So not too disappointed with that one, and a great building block to build upon for race number 2 here tomorrow on the number 36. So another podium, 3 from 3, a 3rd, a 2nd and a victory as well back in Assen. So great championship potential from the 36.
Yeah, my Spanish isn't great, but I've been in Madrid on the 3rd of May, so I think I know what that's about from Beatrice Naylor. And we'll wait for Maria Herrera to come in for her interview with Alvaro as well.
Yes, Maria Herrera will be heading over towards Alvaro to explain the race, and she doesn't seem too disappointed. More important point, another 2nd place here today at Cremona.
Maria, second position, a great result for the team and good points for the championship.
I'm very happy for the team because I know it's a good race for the team, but for sure for me it's a pity not to lose in the last sector. But I couldn't do more. I wanted to push hard and do a. Roberta can do a mistake, no, but for sure she was strong. I'm very happy for her because it's the first victory and she deserves a lot this victory.
Thank you, Maria.
It's great to see Maria Herrera not just disappointed with her performance, because it was a great performance, but very pleased indeed for Roberta Ponziani. They're very close in that team, in the Clint Forward Racing team, and we know that Maria Herrera will learn from that last lap and she'll strike back again here tomorrow. But more important point, 65 points now on the board for Maria Herrera going in towards race number 2 tomorrow. And we're about to hear from her teammate Roberta Ponziani, who is a first-time race winner in World WCR. She'll get the biggest cheer of the day here in World WCR, and heading down to speak to Alvaro for the first time as a race winner in World WCR, it is Roberta Ponziani.
Roberta, you are a World WCR race winner. How does it sound?
Really good. I'm really happy. I didn't expect this. I knew I was fast here, but the victory is another thing, so I'm very happy.
Enjoy it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very few words indeed, but it doesn't matter. It's all about the results, and the result will say that top prize, number 1, and 25 important points. And here again is the overtake for the lead at the end of the back straight in towards turn number 11, and cuts across the front of Herrera, leaves her space on the inside of turn 11. Good clean riding there from the Clint Forward Racing team riders, and as she exited the final corner, she knew that she had it sealed as across the line, a big wave of the head, and first victory, golden opportunity for Roberta Ponziani, and she will be lifting that first place trophy very soon indeed, as we see some members of the team not quite happy. That was Maria Herrera's dad there, just realising that Maria has missed out on victory here today, but we get another chance here tomorrow. But we get confirmation there of the first time race win for the number 96, the Italian, at her home round, and of course the fans loved that indeed, and they'll be partying long into the night with potentially having a triplet of Italian winners here in World Superbikes and World Supersport. But they started it off perfectly with World WCR here at Cremona. What a day, what a way to start racing action here on Saturday under the Italian sunshine.
Yeah, and you can see for Roberta what it meant for her as well, and it's really important to be able to pick up that race win, because now she'll believe that she can do it for the rest of the season, and that's the most important thing for riders whenever they have that success, is to kick on from it. We've been able to see Beatrice Nela do that already for the run through this season, but more importantly the end of last season when she had those podiums to finish the season. She's been able to carry that momentum forward. Yeah, speaking to Nela on Thursday for an interview that will be coming up on the World WCR website and of course the YouTube channel, that she feels like now that she has that race win under her belt, she has that confidence now. She believes that she can be a championship contender. And Roberta Ponziani, she might feel the same, feel similar. Now she's only 16 points off the championship lead, so she can really kick on after this result here today, as we're scanning the tyres just to see if there's anything untoward, but everything looks all okay there. We just saw the fastest laps pop up, and Ponziani will start in pole position tomorrow, and she joins the Pirelli Best Lap Award here at the FIM Women's Circuit Racing World Championship. Beatrice Nela got both fastest laps in Assen, and Roberta Ponziani adds her name to the list here at Cremona. It's quite interesting going into tomorrow's race as well, because the big thing is going to be to see what step Maria is able to make on that number 6 machine. Did she learn anything from this one, and will she be able to put it into good practice now as well? Because the one factor that everyone knows they're up against this year is that Maria is going to be very consistent all the way through the season, so you need to be able to give yourself that opportunity to beat her as often as you can, because she will have a lot of podiums. Yeah, she will indeed. 12 podiums now for Maria Herrera and World WCR. Still 7 victories, but I'm sure that'll be a victory she wouldn't mind too much to miss out on, because her and Roberta seem to go on extremely well. And the Clint Forward Racing team, the top 3 from the race and the top 3 from the championship, make the way towards the podium to receive their
trophies after race number 1, and obviously that gives the riders a bit of time for a debrief. And Maria Herrera there just saying that the front was shuddering a little bit going into one of the corners. Not sure which corner she was talking about there, but
I'd say turn 11.
Turn 11, yes. Yeah, you can see a couple of grabs of the front brake, but there are some bumps in some of the apex of the corners here, so it could have been anywhere at all. But we're about to get the top 3 heading onto the podium, starting off with 3rd place Beatrice Naylor. She won't be leading the championship going into race number 2 tomorrow. However, she has only 4 points off the championship leader. That is Maria Herrera, who takes 2nd position here today. But for the first time in World WCR, it will be Roberta Ponziani on the Clint Forward Racing Team machine that steps up towards the top of the podium. And you can imagine that will be the first of potentially many here in World WCR. So we're about to have the riders receive their winnings very shortly, as Beatrice Naylor will be receiving her trophy first of all. And we have the head of motorsport division at the Cremona circuit handing over the trophy to Beatrice Naylor. Big smiles from Beatrice on number 36. He seems more pleased with the flowers than the trophy. Very nice looking flowers they are indeed. And once again, Maria Herrera picking up another 2nd place trophy for 2025. That's 2 on the bounce, but consistency means prizes. And the 1st and 2 seconds, that's why she is at the summit of the World Championship after 3 races this season. But we're all assessing, we're all getting ready for the top trophy, the biggest one of them all, heading over to Roberta Ponziani, and the Azerbaijan president handing over the 1st place trophy for the first time in World WCR to Roberta Ponziani. And you can imagine that won't be the last time we hear that name at the top of the podium.
Please, your respect for the national anthem of the winning rider, the national anthem of Italy.
Well, we got the full national anthem from Italy there for Roberta Ponziani. There was tears all around from friends and family for the first-time race winner, and you won't mind that getting played out in length because it is.
No, you won't, and it's champagne time. What an absolutely, well, interesting race for WCR. We'll be back tomorrow for race 2, but in 20 minutes' time, it'll be race 1 for World Superbikes. Join us then. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.